Welcome back to this edition of World Insight. Now, in our final story today, we're going to take you on a journey back in time, about 2,300 years to be exact, all the way to China's Qin dynasty. Excavation on one of the world's wonders, known as China's Terracotta Army, is underway again, this time up in the northwestern province of Shanxi. More treasures from our past will come to light. But when history meets present, how can we preserve it for our future?
After a 24-year break, more treasures from the past. Chariots, horses, and other clay figures. Experts say the relics are in better condition than expected.
From this site, we can see two horses in one hole. We already knew that these two horses existed, but in the last two excavations, we never came across them. Of course, perhaps there might be more unsolved mysteries.
在前两次发掘当中是没有遇到过的。
The Terracotta Army is at once a great mystery and one of the greatest archaeological finds of modern times. It's ruled by the first emperor of Qin, whom Chinese call Qin Shi Huang. He created China's first unitary state in 221 BC by conquering rival kingdoms. He built an extensive system of roads and canals, along with an early incarnation of the Great Wall. The army is believed to consist of some 8,000 life-size figures. It's believed they were created to protect the immortality-obsessed emperor in the afterlife, and no two figures are alike. The tomb site statistics are as impressive as the artifacts they contain. The complex covers some 56 square kilometers and took 700,000 people about 35 years to build. Some scientists think the tomb was looted by a rival army less than 5 years after Qin Shi Huang's death. They then set a fire that destroyed the wooden structures housing the warriors, damaging most of them. The 2,000-year-old clay warriors were unearthed by chance just over 35 years ago. In the early spring of 1974, farmers from Xiang village in Lintong County came across some ancient bronze weapons and fragments of warriors while sinking a well. The first formal excavation from 1979 to 1984 uncovered 1,100 clay figures. In December 1980, two full-size bronze chariots with 4 horses each were unearthed 20 meters from the emperor's tomb. The chariots and horses were removed from the site to a display hall, the best conditions then available. A second excavation in 1985 lasted a year and was cut short for technical reasons.
Technical problems stopped our second excavation of pit number 1 of the Terracotta Army in 1986, and now we have improved our technology, and we are going to continue our excavation now. This is the first step of our third excavation.
This time, Chinese archaeologists have found some clay figures with rare colored patterns.
这个俑头上是有一些色彩，特别是它这半边的脸颜色流的比较多一些。
The archaeologists are doing their best to protect the relics from exposure to air. State-of-the-art technology is being applied to help preserve their original color.
We have a variety of gadgets to protect the unearthed clay figures, because the paint colors on relics easily disintegrate and peel off once they're unearthed. We need to keep their humidity at a proper level. This is the first step in protecting them.
Tourists from near and far are welcome to visit the museum while the excavation proceeds.
I wish I could see something marvelous, and I wish I could see the color warriors.
In the face of growing public enthusiasm, archaeologists warn the excavation is a long and serious process.
This is archaeology. This is not a kind of treasure hunt game. We need to do it step by step, or otherwise we'll damage the rare relics. When we excavate historic sites, we also think about protection.
Maintaining the figures and ensuring their paint does not oxidize is far more challenging than digging them up. So would it be better to leave the Terracotta Army underground? The debate between excavation and protection is an old one. Pyramid at Giza, the last surviving of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, was built as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu some 4,500 years ago. Despite many digs and tests over the centuries, the pharaoh's mummy and treasures have never been found. New technology may be the best way to help scientists without damaging the relics. A special robot, the Pyramid Rover, crawls about 65 meters up an ancient 20 by 20 centimeter tunnel. It drills a hole in a limestone door and then inserts a fiber optic camera to film what lurks inside.
Nobody knows what's behind that stone. And the objective of this mission and all this technology is to try to see beyond that stone and answer the question of why the shaft was built and what's behind that stone.
No matter what the conclusion of the debate, people will always be curious about the past. And rare relics are increasingly seen around the world as the symbol of a country. A display of unprecedented size outside China opened to the public in London in 2007.
I think it's fantastic. Yes, they've recreated the feeling.
This is not the first time for the Terracotta Army to travel abroad. The warriors have made conquests in Europe, Australia, and even South America. Back in the 1970s, when the farmers first dug here, no one ever expected it would yield an ancient wonder. And now, the question is how to make sure the site and its majestic spectacle remain intact for the generations to come.
Well, this third and latest round of excavation is expected to wrap up in about 5 years' time. Altogether, it will cover an area of 2,000 square meters. The number of terracotta warriors and horses is expected to eventually be twice as big as what is now on display. What a thought. With that, we come to the end of this program. Join us again at the same time next week for your insight on World Insight. But in the meantime, we'd love to hear from you, so send us an email to this address, worldinsight@cctv.com. I'm James Chow from me and the team here in Beijing. Thanks for watching. See you again. The world we live in changes by the minute. Each weekend we bring you in-depth analysis on the headline stories. Global issues with a Chinese perspective. Join me, James Chow, each weekend on CCTV International for your insight on World Insight.